Time for Media Watch, and James Creedon is with us in the studio. Hi there, James.
Hi,
and we're starting off with a story we've been covering tonight. This is the record number of asylum applications here in France, 100,000 last year.
Yes.
Macron's trying to tighten up the laws. He has come under a lot of fire for that.
That's right. So just a quick whip through the sort of reactions to it, and centering on the cover of the Nouvel Observateur, which has really been a lightning rod for opinion in this regard. Now, the Nouvel Observateur, left-leaning magazine, weekly, very much in favour of Emmanuel Macron, and they went for this front cover showing barbed wire and saying, "Welcome to the country of human rights." Now, just to show you some of the reactions to that, so obviously a very strong front cover. Some saying this is absolutely a scandalous front cover, it's idiotic, they need to change their management, this is an absolute insult. Others saying that the Nouvel Observateur is stuck in the era of 1968, it's disinformation, it's propaganda, and they're showing with this front cover a will to defend anything that will destroy this country. In other words, loony lefties. That's the kind of point that he's making, right?
They don't like it at all.
They don't. And here you have somebody saying, well, this front cover of the Nouvel Observateur is the first time that a big newspaper is showing the true face of Emmanuel Macron. To have an idea of how awful the situation for immigrants is, who find themselves in an irregular situation, read this report. So there are all these kind of accounts now of how there has been a tough crackdown. You're having riot police up in Calais, whipping sleeping bags away from people, because Macron has said he doesn't want any more migrants in the streets.
Sleeping rough on the streets.
So
yeah.
There are some very difficult accounts that you're hearing of how this crackdown is being implemented. Another person saying here, this front cover could be the turning point in Macron's mandate. In other words, if the Nouvel Observateur is prepared to be this critical of a Macron policy, it could signal a change, because here's what the front covers have looked like up to now. Le patron, the man
boss
of the moment, very adulatory. But of course, a lot of people in his En Marche party would have come maybe from associations or humanitarian groups. They would maybe be more left-wing traditionally, some of them. So this is really going to test the base of Emmanuel Macron's party. Okay. But apparently 6 in 10 people are in well, that's Benoit Hamon, the former presidential candidate for the Socialist Party, saying that it's fake news to talk about humanity at the centre of this government's policies. But if you look at some statistics, as this TV show points out in one of their tweets, 6 in 10 French people are in favour of greater firmness when it comes to the issues of immigration and borders.
And that's probably what Macron will be listening to rather than Benoit Hamon, just a guess. But anyway, let's move let's move to something else now. This is really heartbreaking. Yeah. This is in China. A young schoolboy from a rural area. He had to walk through the snow. I think it took him an hour to get to school, and he literally had frostbite on his hands and ice in his hair.
It's a little bit like, maybe, I don't want to stretch the comparison, but Aylan Kurdi, in the sense that one image can really, again, set off a whole debate about policy. And that was, of course, Aylan Kurdi was the little boy who died, the little migrant boy. Now, here you have, his name is Wang, he's 8 years old, 4.5 kilometres to get to school, and this is how he arrived, just ice in his hair, and it became a hugely viral story in China. You can see various headlines here talking about how it proves communism doesn't work in the cold. In other words, resources just not there for transport, for warming the school. This is in the Yunnan province, so obviously very cold winters up there, and it just really struck a chord with Chinese internet users.
And his schoolmates are laughing at him, which is really sad.
It is a very, very sad
Good
story.
on him for making it to school. Goodness
there you
me.
go. In those conditions, the red cheeks, the red hands, and the icy hair. It's certainly a kind of a shocking image, and basically everybody in China has been talking about it online. It's been a huge story.
The Chinese government will not like that at all.
And apparently then there was something about $15,000 has been provided for Wang with clothes for clothes and for his school and for better heating systems. So the Communist Party machinery, as they're saying in this article, really trying to kick into overdrive to stave off a lot of negative.
Like you say, a powerful image really fueling the debate there.
Absolutely.
These big issues. James, thank you very much.
Thanks, Laura.
James Creedon there with Media Watch. Now it is time for